Cancer is one of the most common and scary diseases which none of us will ever want to get. And for a long time, researchers showed that some food items can cause it, like processed food. But what about sleep? Can not sleeping well cause cancer too? Researchers seem to agree. Now, sleeping time varies for a lot of us. Some of us sleep 5 to 7 hours, while others sleep 7+ hours in a day. And the difference between these two groups of people is huge. And what about those who work on night shift? Are they at higher risk of getting cancer? So, how does skipping sleep increase your risk of cancer? And how can you avoid that? Well, let's get started. When we think of ways to take care of our general health, some of the first things that spring to mind are things like keeping a healthy mental state, consuming nutritious foods, and engaging in regular physical activity. But in reality, there are not just 3, but really 4 aspects that need our attention. And the one that we mostly pay the least amount of consideration to is sleep. Even though it is common knowledge that proper sleep is crucial for maintaining good health in general, many of us simply do not place a high enough priority on getting enough of it. Why we need sleep. During the time that you're asleep, your cells, tissues, and muscles are being controlled and healed by your body. At this point, your brain is processing all of the thoughts, emotions, and sensations that you have had during the day. So a good night's rest not only helps us feel happier and more in control of our emotions, but it also provides us with the energy to get through the day, maintain a healthy diet, and maintain a strong immune system. Without a sufficient amount of sleep, our bodies and minds are unable to and will not operate at their peak performance levels. However, what exactly do we mean when we say that you need to have a great night's sleep? In order for us to be deemed healthy, the amount and quality of sleep we get each night must be just perfect. 8 hours of high-quality sleep are preferable to 12 hours of poor sleep for health benefits. How then can you determine if you are receiving enough amount of rest? It's really simple. If you wake up feeling refreshed and revitalized with enough energy to make it through the day, the quality of your sleep was probably pretty excellent. It is common knowledge that not getting enough sleep contributes to the development of ailments such as diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and obesity. Therefore, it is reasonable to hypothesize that the ways in which we sleep may also influence the likelihood that we may get cancer. But can sleep really affect one's likelihood of getting cancer? The psychology behind sleeping. The link between getting enough sleep and lowering one's risk of developing cancer is becoming an increasingly hot issue in the world of science. There are a number of lifestyle choices that are known to increase the risk of acquiring certain types of cancer, such as smoking, consuming an excessive amount of alcohol, and not exercising. However, preliminary research shows that a lack of sleep may also be a component of this risk. Chronic sleep deprivation has also been related to a number of other potentially severe health concerns, such as obesity, diabetes, and a variety of other conditions, all of which are risk factors for cancer. When taking a nap, the body frequently cycles between several stages of sleep, including light, deep, and REM sleep, that's rapid eye movement, and each of them is important. Deep sleep is essential for healing of muscles and tissues, but rapid eye movement sleep is when the mind processes memories, dreams, and emotions. If you skip through any of these stages, it's possible that your physical, mental, and cognitive health may suffer as a result. This is because your body won't have enough time to repair properly. But because we can't control all situations at times, we might find ourselves suffering from insomnia and other related issues. Maybe you got sick and had an overnight stay in the hospital. The uncomfortable side effects of medication, pain, and anxiety brought on by a newly diagnosed condition are all potential reasons for sleeplessness. So what if you use pills to fall asleep? Unfortunately, continuing to take these sedatives on a daily basis may potentially make the risk worse. The use of hypnotic drugs has been found to gradually increase one's risk of acquiring cancer, according to findings of a recent meta-analysis that included the findings of multiple observational studies. The use of sleeping tablets may also hinder the body from obtaining the restorative REM sleep it requires, which can result in feelings of confusion, anger, and lethargy. The majority of people find it exceptionally challenging to cope with withdrawal symptoms, which can include trembling, anxiety, seizures, and a potentially life-threatening condition called REM rebound. Research on sleep and cancer. Simply, if you're not getting enough sleep, it can be a serious problem. A new study shows how sleeping just 5 hours per night can increase your chances of developing certain types of tumors by 50%, compared with people who get at least 8 hours per night. The research was conducted by scientists at the University of Surrey in England and published in the journal Nature Communications. The team looked at data from over 500 adults over age 55 with no major medical conditions except for having less than 8 hours per night on average. They then analyzed information about their sleep patterns, including how long they slept during different periods throughout their lives, along with biopsy results from more than 100 tumors taken after they died. The study found that people who got less than 5 hours of sleep each night showed significantly higher rates of tumor growth. The researchers conducted their research on mice, which is a useful model for human cancer development because it mimics many aspects of human physiology and behavior. They found that the tumors grew faster in mice that were deprived of sleep. And according to Dr. Ronald Mazer, an associate professor at Harvard Medical School and scientist at Brigham and Women's Hospital, who was not involved in this research but has authored several studies related to sleep-related health issues such as obesity or diabetes mellitus type 2, the results were really interesting. They show how much impact these factors can have on our health. For instance, 20% of all American employees are employed in jobs that require them to work varying shifts. A lot of individuals favor working the night shift because it is calmer and more relaxed, or because certain firms pay extra for working night hours. Unfortunately, a lot of individuals don't realize that working shifts might raise their risk of cancer and may be more expensive for them than it's worth. According to the findings of 27 researchers from 16 different countries who recently gathered in France to discuss their most recent findings on the carcinogenicity of night shift work, there is strong evidence in both humans and experimental animals that changes in the light-dark schedule result in changes in serum melatonin and in the expression of core circadian genes. The hormone melatonin, sometimes known as the sleep hormone, plays a crucial role in the body's sleep-wake cycle. Its production increases with nighttime darkness, facilitating good sleep and helping to orient the body's circadian cycle. The circadian cycle is the 24-hour cycle that makes up the body's internal clock. The working group came to the conclusion that there is strong mechanistic evidence in experimental systems regarding the main characteristics of carcinogens, which is an agent that brings on cancer in living tissue. Based on little mechanistic evidence in experimental animals, substantial evidence of cancer in experimental animals, and scant evidence of cancer in people, the researchers came to the conclusion that working the night shift is probably carcinogenic to humans in some populations. The circadian rhythm, often known as regular patterns of sleep and wakefulness, is commonly disrupted in those whose jobs require them to work rotating shifts. Melatonin and other sleep-inducing substances are produced by the biological clock in the human body as a response to changes in the amount of light and darkness experienced throughout the day. The circadian rhythm is responsible for regulating a great number of additional biological activities, including the manufacture of hormones, the operation of organs, and the temperature of the body. So, an inconsistent sleep pattern over a prolonged period of time might be the root cause of shift work sleep disorder as well as other circadian rhythm disorders. There is a correlation between working overnight or on a rotating shift and an increased risk of developing this sickness. According to the findings of certain studies, difficulty with shift work sleep may contribute to an increased risk of developing numerous types of cancer, including prostate, ovarian, colorectal, breast, and lymphoma. Studies on breast cancer in women, notably in nurses who regularly work night shifts, have given the majority of evidence that has been collected so far on the carcinogenic effect of shift work. Melatonin, which is both a hormone and a powerful antioxidant, is not secreted into the bloodstream after dark when exposed to either natural or artificial light. Melatonin deficiency is connected to an increase in estrogen, which is another hormone that has been associated with the development of breast cancer. Over the course of the last several decades, the percentage of people who survive cancer for a long period of time has increased, with the growing incidence of cancer diagnoses. Because their ailment was identified and treated sooner, around 2/3 of those who were diagnosed will either go on to live long lives with their condition or continue to live with it as a chronic illness that is controlled with continuing therapy. But more importantly, the amount of sleep one gets, in addition to the quality of sleep one gets, is a key factor that can aid in the prevention and survival of cancer. This factor is commonly overlooked. According to the findings of a study conducted by the Women's Health Initiative, which involved 4,406 different women, poor sleep quality is associated with invasive breast cancer. Those who slept for less than 5 hours per night had a mortality risk that was 1.5 times greater than those who slept for between 7 and 8 hours per night on a nightly basis, as stated by a different piece of research that studied data from 7,500 women who had the same diagnosis. Recent research suggests that a regular and healthy circadian cycle may improve treatment results, but a disruption in this pattern may increase the chance of developing drug resistance. Since the circadian rhythm may alter cell fate, more and more treatments are being developed to cause tumor cells to undergo apoptosis, also known as programmed cell death. According to Dr. Amanda Phipps, an epidemiologist at Fred Hutch Cancer Research Center, a correlation has been shown between not getting enough sleep before a breast cancer diagnosis and a greater death rate from the disease. So, will you adjust your sleeping schedule to lower your risk of getting cancer? And do you think that this is something people should be more concerned about? Thank you for watching until now. It's highly appreciated. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss more videos that actually help and educate you and much more. Check out this video. I think you will love it. And it will also help you keep caring for your body. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care.